All right, welcome everybody. I am Kerry Willaims from Chandler, Arizona, and Maria Willaims is here with me. We are so excited to share this information with you guys tonight. If you are a guest checking this information out, we are thrilled that you're taking time out of your busy schedule to look at this. I was first introduced to this 9.5 years ago, and this information has radically altered the course of my life. So I'm crazy passionate about sharing this with others. And tonight I am so excited and honored because I have my great friend, Maria Willaims, my partner in crime, my angel. We got this off the ground together. Maria and I were next door neighbors. Maria is married to her husband, Noel. They have two amazing boys, Isaiah and Noah. And Maria just has a huge, huge heart and a passion for helping others. So Maria, I will let you take it away, share your story, and share this breakthrough that we're so passionate about.
Thank you, Kerry. It's my pleasure to be here with all of you today and to share this information with you. And I hope that it resonates with you some way, somehow, like it did with us. So let me tell you how I kind of got started in this. And so I grew up in Massachusetts, and I was in the human resource industry, in the manufacturing industry for over 20 some years. My husband was in the insurance industry. And in 2008, with the bad economy, you remember 2008, most people do when I say that, they remember what was going on. Well, the economy was really bad. People were losing their jobs, losing their homes. And, you know, unfortunately, that kind of happened with my husband's position. His boss walked in one day, and he was in the financial district in Boston working, and they did restructuring and eliminated his whole entire department. You know, that day, thousands and thousands of people across the country lost their jobs. And he was fortunate that he looked within the company and he found something here in Phoenix, Arizona. So we moved here in the beginning of 2009. And part of when when we talked about moving here with our family, our boys were 9 and 11 at the time. You know, I said to my husband, I'll move, but I don't want to work, because I worked 50, 60, 70 hours a week. I never saw my boys growing up. Always had either daycare, nannies, someone helping me with them. And I didn't know anyone in Arizona, had no family, no friends here. And I didn't want to do that to my children. I wanted to be a present mom. I wanted to be around. They were going into their teenage years. So he said, fine, no problem. And so we moved out here. Now, the other thing that was happening, and this is kind of how my healthy quest journey began. In 2007, unfortunately, I worked in a manufacturing plant, very toxic environment, and my blood work was a little off, and doctor, sent me to a hematologist, and they thought I had leukemia, and it wasn't. It later turned out to a different type of cancer, multiple myeloma. But when I first heard that, I could potentially have a cancer, I started my healthy journey, right? I started looking for what's out there, what can help fight cancer, prevent cancer, like what's out there. And I came across antioxidants, right? Antioxidants help fight free radicals, which free radicals lead to cancer and all of that. So that started me on my healthy quest. And then when I moved here, Kerry Willaims, my next door neighbor, came over one day in a hot day in July, and the kids went in the pool to play, and she showed me an ABC investigative report. I hope you have all seen it. If you haven't, whoever invited you on here, ask them to show it to you because of time constraints. We're not going to show it right now, but that ABC primetime blew my mind away. They were talking about a theory of aging, right? They were talking about oxidative stress in that ABC investigative report. So when ABC comes in to investigate something, they're really trying to debunk. So they were really trying to debunk this company and this medical breakthrough that they had. This was on Wall Street Journal talking about this doctor had this scientific breakthrough. Oh, go back a second, Kerry. They were talking about it. No, so that's why they came in to debunk it. They were talking about oxidative stress, right? So that's one of the theories of aging. There are about 20 some theories of aging, and we are biohacking. We're up to our third theory of aging through nutrigenomics. So nutrigenomics is nutrition for your genes. If you give your body the proper nutrition, you can correct gene expression. You can get into the DNA. I was just listening to a Harvard professor talking today, Dr. David Sinclair, and talking about, you know, whatever you're predisposed to, whatever runs in your family, whatever's in your genes, he's only saying only 20% is controlled by our genes, right? We're predisposed to. 80% we control by the foods we eat, by the exercising, by drinking more water, by biohacking. And he was talking about, you know, longevity, extending our lives, and this theory of aging, right? Not so much anti-aging, but he's always believed that aging was an illness. And now the National Institute of Health, National Institute of Health is looking at aging as an illness also, because as we age physically on the outside, inside we're aging also. But if we can slow that aging process down, you can go to the next slide, Kerry. And that's what happened. When ABC went in to investigate this company, they were talking about slowing the aging process. So that ABC Primetime aired originally in 2005, but it made a huge impact on the company because they were a very small company, $3 to $4 million company. They got over $5 million of orders that came in overnight on sheer speculation on what this product could potentially do for people's health, right? So people were excited, they ordered it, but unfortunately the company, very small company, they didn't have the product, they didn't have the stock, you know, they were back ordered 9 months, whatever they sold out of, they were back ordered 9 months, and, you know, people just forgot about it. But the good thing that happened was universities and institutions started calling the company and wanted to get their hands on the product because of what they wanted to see what it could do with the different diseases they were studying. For example, LSU was studying skin cancer, melanoma, the worst kind, right? Your skin is your largest organ in your body. So they knew that melanoma skin cancer was linked to oxidative stress. But until this product, there was nothing in the world that can significantly lower the oxidative stress in someone's body. But one of the things that our product does, it can reduce oxidative stress by 40%, with the continued use up to 70%, so 40% in 30 days. So that's a significant amount. That was enough that all these universities started contacting the company. So there's 2 studies published. You can go to pubmed.gov, pubmed.gov. That is the National Institute of Health's website, where peer-reviewed published studies are published, right? And for anyone to see, this is where doctors and people that do research, scientists, they go to PubMed to see what's the latest and greatest of studies that's going on. And these are studies from around the world that get published there in this housing website. American Heart Association did a study. There's 5 other studies on heart disease. Why? Because it's linked to oxidative stress. Johns Hopkins right now is doing research on cancer because cancer is linked to oxidative stress. So as I started looking into this, like oxidative stress is linked to all of this. You can go to the next slide, Kerry. So why is this important? So if you leave here, I want you to learn one thing today. What is oxidative stress and why it's so important to do everything you can to lower it in your body. So if you look on the left-hand side, you see the apple and it's turning brown. That's oxidation, right? That's a type of oxidative stress that's happening. That's what happens inside our bodies. So when I talk about the 3 theories of aging, I'm going to use a car as an analogy, right? So if you've got rust on a car, rust in the engine, that engine isn't going to work. That car isn't going to run. So you want to get rid of that rust. That's the oxidative stress. Same thing that's on this apple. And that's what's inside our body, inflammation, right? Oxidative stress can create inflammation in our bodies, right? And diseases, we hear a lot of it these days that we got to reduce inflammation, right? So what causes oxidative stress is all those things around that apple, right? Toxins. I worked in a manufacturing plant. All the toxins I was exposed to, you know, cell phones to your ear, 5G that's coming. There's a lot of concern about 5G and what it can do to damage our bodies. Pesticides, herbicides, our environment, over-exercising, pollution, all of that is what's creating oxidative stress. Why is it important? Wait, go back a second, Kerry. I'll tell you when to move. Look on the right-hand side, oxidative stress, right? Look at all the different diseases that it's linked to. It's linked to all our organs, right? Organs, tissues, and then you get into the cells, right? As those cells get damaged, this is where the things you are predisposed to, right? This is where you can get it. Both my parents are diabetic, so that's one thing. I didn't ever want to become a diabetic. And, you know, part of it, I knew that I could fight this and I could, you know, prevent it from me getting as I got older, right? And this is a key part of it is oxidative stress is linked to diabetes. So if you can reduce the oxidative stress in your body, who knows, right, what it can do? Well, we know what it can do is when you reduce that oxidative stress in your body's in control, and your body now begins to heal itself. Go ahead, Kerry. So it begins to heal itself through a process of Nrf2 activation, right? So that's what our signature flagship first product that we introduced to the market, Nrf2 Protandim, the Nrf2 activator. It can reduce that oxidative stress that's linked to all those diseases. There's a study done by the National Institute on Aging, and they tested thousands and thousands of supplements, right? Nutraceuticals. And only one of them was proven to extend your lifespan, that it can extend a human lifespan. And that was this product right here, Nrf2, Protandim Nrf2 Synergizer. We're approved by the NSF and BSCG. Those are two organizations that are approved this product for athletes. So they tested, once again, they didn't test, but there's millions of supplements out there. Only 40 of them are on this list of approved substances that professional athletes can take, Olympic athletes can take, because of the ingredients that are in it are what we say is in it and what it does. It's actually in it, and the batches all get tested. You know, so what this can do is slow that cellular aging, right, that I was talking about before. It can upregulate your survival genes and downregulate the bad genes like fibrosis that cause scarring and inflammation in your body. That's why this is so significant. So the 5 ingredients, if you've seen the ABC, it tells you ashwagandha, bacopa, green tea, turmeric. Here it's as curcumin, and milk thistle, silmanarin is the technical name. So all of them are by themselves, they are Nrf2 activators. But when put together, that's why we have patents protecting this product, because you can't patent green tea, but the synergy of the 5 ingredients together make it 1,800% more potent. So instead of going out and taking these 5 ingredients, it's much more effective. Look at the difference in the potency, and that's where you get your body to be able to reduce the oxidative stress by 40%. So those universities, right, they knew about oxidative stress and how it was linked to diseases, but everything they've tested, nothing was significant enough until they saw the science behind this product and how it could reduce that oxidative stress by 40%. Then they were like intrigued enough to do all those studies on it. And there are pharmaceuticals. Go ahead, Kerry. And there are pharmaceutical companies that right now are developing drugs that will be Nrf2 activators. Look at what Washington State University is saying about Nrf2 activation. It may well become the most extraordinary therapeutic and most extraordinary preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. You know, the future is now. There are things we can do to prevent diseases in our body. And one of those things is activating this pathway. There's a big difference between supplementation and activation. I like to say, anyone out there have a flip phone? That's supplementation. Anyone have a smartphone, an iPhone, a Galaxy? Well, yes, most people now have smartphones. That is compared to a supplement to an activator. The activators are the smartphones, right? Because we're activating our body, and it's your body that's in control and your body that's doing the healing. It's not our product that's doing it, the healing inside your body. It's just flipping a switch, turning that switch on. It's actually more like a thermostat you're turning on, because if your body needs more, it uses more. And if your body's fine and doesn't need it, it lowers it down. But if something's happening in your body, so it's going up and down and pulsating and fluctuating as your body needs the activation in your body. And that's super important, because if your body doesn't need it, it's letting it go, right? You don't want this to accumulate in your body. And we actually have a study that shows that it does not accumulate in our fat cells, that it uses it, and what it doesn't need, it gets rid of. So it's just like the right dosage for everybody, because everybody's body is different, and everybody is going to feel something different in this. And because of our body is so unique, but that's what you want, is something that can work with your particular body. Go ahead, Kerry. So I was talking about studies, right? And one of the reasons we can say we have one of the most potent Nrf2 activators on the market is because this pharmaceutical company, Biogenetic, has a drug on the market for MS. 1 out of 4 women are getting MS. And MS is linked, oxidative stress is linked to MS, right? So lower the oxidative stress in the body, let the body heal. But look at what it says in the middle here. Interestingly, Protandim, a dietary supplement consisting of herbal ingredients, was the most potent inducer and therefore may be the most suited as a therapeutic strategy. That is huge, right? Because it's natural. There are no side effects. Anyone can take this. I mean, unless you're allergic to one of the ingredients, I say try a quarter and see, because the ingredients are very, very small amounts that are in there. It's the synergy of the 5 of them together. Go ahead, Kerry. So that's our first theory of aging. So back to the car, the rust, right? That's removing the oxidative stress. The second theory of aging is mitochondria dysfunction. Mitochondria is the engine of your cell. So in a car, think of the engine in the car, right? The motor, right? If it's not running, that car's not going anywhere. You can get rid of all the rust, clean up the engine, right? But if the engine isn't running, it isn't going anywhere. And that's what happens with our cells, right? Every cell has mitochondria. They can have 1 mitochondria or hundreds of mitochondria. Our brain, for example, 1 cell can have up to 400 mitochondria in that cell. And so mitochondria dysfunction is when the mitochondria is not working properly. Your mitochondria is supposed to die and then replicate itself. It's a huge problem when your mitochondria does not die off. That is one of the causes that they're looking at of cancers these days. They used to think that it was genetic, and they've moved away from it being so much genetic, but a mitochondrial dysfunction. And you can look at the slide on the right here, all the other diseases that are linked to mitochondrial dysfunction. And this is just a small representation. A lot of neurological diseases, but the top 3 killers again, cancer, diabetes, and heart disease, all linked to mitochondrial dysfunction. So go ahead, Kerry. So we developed Nrf1 activation. So this activates the Nrf1 pathway. So when it activates this pathway, it's cleaning up your cells, right? It's giving you that ATP, that energy you need. It's improving your performance, right? Athletes, their performance, they feel better, they're healing better, their recovery time is faster. And it enhances the cellular health. It helps with sleep also, and does a lot of cellular repair. So it's boosting, it's making more mitochondria and repairing your mitochondria if it is damaged. Go ahead. So our third theory of aging, and this is where Dr. David Sinclair, you can go look him up. He just has a book that launched called Lifespan, and what we can do to increase our lifespan. And one of the things is activate these sirtuins. Sirtuins are a group of proteins in your body. So back to the car. We got rid of the rust. We got the engine running. Now we got to get the computer and the car running, right? So the computer controls everything else. The windows go up and down, seats going back and forth, GPS, your radio, all the technology that's in there, right? So these sirtuins in our body, there's 7 different groups of proteins. Of these proteins, they're just a protein in your body. But when you activate these proteins, they take over all the rest, right? It can help with so many things. One natural way to get these sirtuins to activate is by caloric restriction. Reduce your caloric intake to about 600 calories. So you can do that for a short while, but you can't do that long term because you're not going to get all the right nutrition in your body. It's not good for you. But you can increase your sirtuin activity by 94%. If you have ever fasted, about right after that third day into the fourth and fifth day, definitely by the fifth day, it's like, you were starving, grumpy, not doing well. And then all of a sudden, by that fifth day, something clicks on and you just feel amazing. I've had friends that have told me my mental, my fog has lifted. I feel great. I'm full of energy. And I'm like, whoa, you haven't eaten in 5 days, right? But it's because you've activated these sirtuins. And our product, what it does, it can activate the sirtuins by 100% in 24 hours. In 24 hours, the sirtuin activity is activated. Other NADs products that are on the market, only 2%, they're activating the sirtuins. So what are the benefits from it? Improved mental focus and concentration, a better mood, right? Who doesn't want to be more motivated and just wake up in the morning and feel like you can conquer the world, right? Boost your mental and physical energy. It supports healthy inflammation response in your body, maintains cholesterol levels that are already in the healthy range, and it supports the vascular system. It also is approved by the BSCG, and so is the Nrf1 activator also. Go ahead, Kerry. So we wanted to see what would all 3 of them do together, because we knew individually what they did. And I'm gonna, there's a lot here, but I want you to concentrate in the beginning here of this slide. And you see the Nrf2 40% increase reduction of oxidative stress, right? That oxidative stress gene by 40% in 30 days. That's just the Nrf2 alone. The tri-synergizers together, the 3 of them, increased it by 78%. That's an 83% increase on the activity of that gene that can reduce that oxidative stress in your body. This second one is blew my mind away. So this gene is healthy inflammatory response. So this is a gene that can help control inflammation in your body. Just on the Nrf2, 51%. With the tri-synergizer, 848% increase in this gene's activity. That's over 1,500% difference increase of them working together. And the same thing goes for the Nrf1 and the NAD also. Just incredible putting these 3 products together and the different layers of healing that happens within your body. So the second product I want to talk about, well, not the second product, but the another product here is brain food, right? Mental clarity, focus. So many people are struggling with that these days. So we developed an energy drink, and I wasn't too thrilled about energy drink because I've heard all the bad stuff of energy drinks on the market, 25-year-olds going to the emergency room with heart attacks, and literally met someone that was 25 and had a heart attack because he was drinking tons of caffeine and energy drinks that are not healthy. So our company tries to, all our products are green, clean, natural, as organic as possible, non-GMO always. So we want to give people something healthy. So this energy drink is, it's brain food. That's how I look at it. It just turns on my brain and helps with energy also, but mental clarity and a focus. So on the right here, you can see this is a 10-year, I think it was a 10-year-old boy that before getting on Protandim, the Nrf2 and the Axio, this is a spelling test. So you can see the handwriting, misspelled words, and then look at only 2 weeks on Protandim and Axio, look at the difference in his handwriting and 100% on his spelling test. But what unlocked in his brain, right? Something unlocked in his brain where he can concentrate and focus and look at his handwriting. Now, I'll tell you, this is a child that if he can start doing this, he can get better grades, he can do better in school. You're changing a child's life because the fundamentals when they're young to be able to do that and change, and they can concentrate and get better grades and feel better about themselves, right? It's just huge what this can do. So awesome for your brain. We also have some research. We have Dr. Jeffrey Fannin, who does brain mapping and helps lots of people with different issues, but ADHD, autism. He maps the brain, and then he has these programs to help the brain, remap the brain so it can work better. He got introduced to these products, and he says, great, I'm gonna, saw the science and got some patients on it. One particular patient, a teenager with ADHD, he did the brain maps. You can see on the left side here, the red and the squiggly lines. You don't have to be a brain surgeon or a neuroscientist to know that that's not good. And then look 12 days on Nrf1, Nrf2, and the Axio. Look at the brain. The red at the top is gone. The squiggly lines, very little are left. But the important thing was the teachers noticed a difference. They called the parents, and when the parents came in for their weekly visit, because this poor boy was kind of always in trouble and not doing his homework and really struggling, and they said he's totally changed. He's paying attention. He's focused. His attitude's better. His just overall, and he said that it felt like my brain just woke up. I could think clear. I could concentrate. He went from C's and D's to A's and B's right now, and I just heard that he's applying for colleges. So that's why we do this, because of the, enhancing someone's life, right? Is why we do this. Next one, Kerry. So I'm going to talk about a couple of other products that we have, because we keep looking at total body wellness, right? What can we do in our body? And I will tell you that people, when they get on our products, they feel more energy, sleep better, mental clarity, focus, and then improved gut health. Your gut health is super important. Your brain and your gut are connected. You can see on the left here, on the right, all the different diseases that are linked to leaky gut. When you have a leaky gut, all it means is that toxins are seeping back into your bloodstream, okay? And when that happens, your blood gets toxic, right? Different diseases from depression, anxiety, there's a huge connection to the gut. To acne, and you can just look at all the different issues. So we developed a probiotic, tons of probiotics on the market, right? I've taken probiotics for over 20 some years. Always told people to take probiotics, and because I believed in them, right? Well, what I learned was only 4% of probiotics on the market actually ever get into your gut, because of the stomach acids are so potent, destroys the bacteria before it gets a chance to get into your gut. So what we did, our company did, is we put a coating on it called BioTrack. It's a vegetable coating around it. And what that does, it helps protect it against the stomach acids. And so over 60% gets into your gut. So you want 4% or 60% of the bacteria getting into your gut. That was easy for me, switching from what I had before in there. Go ahead, Kerry. Oh, when we have omegas, that wasn't there. So we took that Nrf2 activation and put it into skincare. Same formulation, but helps with the fine lines and wrinkles and a whole system. We put it into hair care. It helps the appearance of your hair feel fuller and thicker, and just it helps with the scalp, right? We have a microbiome in our scalp, and what we put on our skin and our scalp especially absorbs 4 times faster. Toxins within 20 seconds to get absorbed into your skin. These products, there's an app called Think Dirty. So if you download that app, Think Dirty, check what you have at home. Check what kind of products you use and look them up on that app. It goes from 0 to 12. 0 is coconut oil, totally natural and no toxins in it at all. 12, cancerous stuff. You don't want that in your house. You want to get rid of it. Our skincare is 0, 1, and 2. We have a hand cream, and that's 0. The hair care is 1 and 2 also. So these products are green, clean, and very low toxicity. I mean, no toxins in it. I mean, just incredible what how they work on our bodies. And then weight management. Lots of people, looking for weight management. And so we have a protein, more prebiotic drink that prebiotic drink actually is like a curb. It curbs your appetite. I think of it as curbing my appetite. It really fills me up. It's great to take between lunch and dinner. And if you think of the gut as a garden, right? The probiotic is the seeds. The prebiotic is the fertilizer that you get in there to get the bacteria to start growing in your microbiome and get you a great healthy digestive system. And then the fat burner, which I love this fat burner. I mean, I've tried over my lifespan a couple of fat burners, but you know, they make you feel jittery and just dry mouth and just horrible. So I've avoided them. Anytime I've taken something and I take one pill and I feel that way, I'm like, no, I don't want to speed up my metabolism that way. This is a natural way to speed up and burn the fat cells and keep lean muscle. That's what I love about this. And then people were giving Nrf2 activation to their dogs, cats, horses, so they develop pet tandem. What I love about pet tandem is you can find a dog that's struggling and you just want your dog to be healthier, and you give them it and they're jumping around, they're full of energy, like they were a puppy again, right? And there's no placebo effect, right? Because they just think it's a treat. My dogs just think it's a treat I'm giving them. So go ahead, Kerry. So that's our line of products that we have, and they're just breakthrough products. All of them have uniqueness in them, and I have loved being on these products 9.5 years. I'm full of energy. I feel amazing. Our whole family's on it, and we just love it. You know, anything we can do to prevent diseases, to stay ahead of it, and to just, you know, be healthier and stronger. So when I saw this, I was very intrigued. Like I said, I was on that healthy quest, and I was very intrigued when, you know, Kerry told me there was a business side to it. So I'm going to turn it over to Kerry Willaims. She is just a visionary and has such a business mind. And she saw this, and when we sat down and looked at it, she showed me the potential of where this was going, right? And I wanted to be part of it with her. So Kerry, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. I love hearing you share this information. I just get so excited every time. So you guys, I was introduced, like I said, 9.5 years ago. Just to give you a little background, it was Father's Day when I saw this. I had a 3-day-old baby and a 4-year-old. I watched that ABC primetime report. If you haven't seen it, you know, watch it afterwards. You can go to biohackandactivate.com. But I watched that in the middle of the night, and I was blown away. My first thought was I wanted it preventatively for me and my husband. And then I thought of some loved ones that were struggling with their health. And I just thought, if this is true, what could it potentially do for them? And I stayed up researching it. I was blown away. And just to kind of take you back to 9 years ago when I first looked at this, you know, we only had that first theory of aging pro-tandem Nrf2. And so I saw, wait a minute, every single person out there has oxidative stress, everybody, and it's linked to hundreds of diseases, and this lowers it across the board by 40 to 70%. And we have independently funded, peer-reviewed, published studies, like Maria said, on PubMed.gov, showing what this does. That grabs my attention. So from the business perspective, then my next question was, well, who knows about this? So if everybody has this issue, who knows about a solution? And I can tell you today, we have less than 80,000 distributors in the world. We're open in over 20 countries. So we have a massive answer, but it's still a secret, and we need more people sharing this information. I was blown away when I found out that Harvard Business Review and the Direct Selling Association, they say that the first 135,000 distributors per country have the opportunity of a lifetime. And again, less than 80,000 in the world. We just had our big convention, and we had roughly 4,000 people. So it is still a massive secret. Nobody knows about it. And then looking at this from a business perspective, companies go through what they call a business S-curve. Initially, it starts out in the formulation and pioneering stages, and that's the make it or break it time. Most businesses fail within those first few years. So the risk of getting involved in a brand new company is huge. So looking at this now, here you've got a publicly traded company on the NASDAQ. We just got added to the Russell 3000, but yet still nobody knows about this. So it's that perfect sweet spot. And so if you look at this, companies were that little black dot, not even moved into momentum yet. And then eventually companies move into critical mass momentum after that, and then stabilization where everybody's heard about this. But again, this is so brand new. Instead of taking supplementation, we're activating these different pathways. And you guys, Maria and I have had the opportunity to just see some incredible things happen as your body starts to heal, as you activate these pathways, as you change genetic expression. So we've had the opportunity to be a part of this for over 9 years. But what I'm crazy excited about today is, Maria talked about that NAD and increasing those sirtuins, and then she shows you that synergy. You guys, I feel like this is phase 2 of LifeVantage, and it's like that black dot is at the very, very beginning. Nobody knows about this. So knowing what we've had our hands on with Nrf2 and Nrf1 and our other stellar lineup of products, and then adding NAD in and seeing how that supercharges that, I am the kind of person that I want every advantage I can possibly have. I want results through the roof. And when I saw that synergy slide, I'm like, absolutely, I want that. So that's what we have to share. And that's a tremendous business potential as well. So it's this huge secret and nobody knows about that. So if you are on this tonight, checking out the products, we are thrilled. We are passionate about getting these products in your bodies. 90% of my business comes from customers. I love the fact that customers pay the exact same price that distributors do. So just get back with the person that invited you to this webinar to really select what's best for you. But I would absolutely say, start at a minimum with that Tri-Synergizer, because you definitely want those exponential results by combining the 3 products together. I love the Vitality Stack. That actually won an award, a huge award, and they're packaged individually. It's brilliant, simple, easy to use. You can take it, grab it on the go, and add the NAD to that as well. That is so brand new. It's not even out yet. Or they have the Ultimate Stack. And I'm a huge fan of Axio as well. But if you are sitting here, thinking about, if this is true, well, this person needs to hear it, and this one, and what could it do for this person? Or maybe you are looking for ways to build additional sources of income, then think about becoming a distributor. There's multiple ways to get involved in that. The silver pack is $350, the gold pack is $650, or the platinum pack is $1250. Each pack comes with product. The bigger the pack, the more product you get and the more that you save. If you're truly looking to build a business, the platinum pack is by far the best way to go. You're going to get over $1,800 worth of product. You're going to get all the products and multiple quantities of some of them. And we want you to be a product of the products. Fall in love with these products. Start taking that, consuming it. My entire family literally uses all of these products each and every day, and become passionate about these products and get some people that you love and care about on that as well. And then if you see the business potential position behind these groundbreaking products, really take a look at this industry. I was blown away by the fact that you could create leveraged income. Now, my background, I was a retail manager. I'd been a store manager at Bath & Body Works for 8 years. I'd been a manager for Dillard's department stores for 5 years before that. And at the time, I was working 60, 70 hours a week. My husband's an attorney. He did commercial litigation, and he was working 70 plus hours a week. And I really felt like we were ships passing in the night. And it just felt like if I didn't make a change, the next 10 years were not going to be significantly different from the last 10 years. I don't know if any of you out there are feeling that same way. The year's kind of wrapping up and you're evaluating things and thinking, okay, if what I'm doing right now, if I keep doing that, that's not going to get me where I need to go. Then take a serious look at this business as well. So when I saw the concept that you could share and educate this information with people, and you could get paid month after month after month, if people continue to consume these groundbreaking products by sharing that information once, that was a game changer for me. And then the fact that you could build leveraged income and impact more people individually than you possibly could and have a ripple effect in so many lives. Let me just paint a picture of what we've already been able to create. Between Maria and I, we've started this ripple effect, right? It was one by one by one, me and my next door neighbor, Maria, and it's turned into over 100,000 lives that we've impacted. That's crazy and still hard to believe, quite honestly. But I love that. You know, we couldn't go talk to 100,000 people, but we could teach and we could train people on how they could share this with their friends and their family and their loved ones. And we all know people that are struggling with their health. And we also all know people that are looking for ways to add additional streams of income, or maybe they have a phenomenal job or business, but they don't have time freedom. So sharing the business potential position with this as well. So when I saw this business model, honestly, it made perfect sense to me, because I am the kind of person, if I believe in something, I'm going to shout it from the rooftops anyway. What I've found is most of us, we do network marketing all the time. We're just not getting paid for it. You know, if you've referred people to a restaurant or a book or a doctor, or whatever, imagine if you could get paid a tiny percentage, a thank you check for introducing them to that. And then imagine if you got paid month after month after month if they continued to eat at that restaurant. And then think if your friends told friends about their new favorite restaurant and you got paid a little portion off of that. That's what this is, but we have the opportunity to share life-changing information. Did you hear Maria say the most extraordinary therapeutic and preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine? That's what the studies are showing. That's how potent Nrf2 activation is. And now by adding NAD, supercharging Nrf1, Nrf2, and NAD, the results are that much more amazing. So building that leveraged income. And, you know, as I mentioned, I started this with a newborn and a 4-year-old. My youngest was diagnosed at 2 years old with autism. This business actually allowed my husband to walk away from being an attorney. On the day that we hit Pro 8, the average Pro 8 is $24,000 a month, and we have had time freedom for 7 years. He retired 27 months after I started this business, 27 months after first looking at this information, and the business gave us the time and the resources to pour hundreds of thousands of dollars into our son, do 35 hours a week of therapy, because we were looking for everything we could do to potentially help him. And he made small changes along the way, but he was still really, really, really struggling. Axio came out, and I'd been with the company for 4 years. Never in my wildest dreams did I know that by activating Nrf2 in the brain and getting his brain to unlock, that it would have such a huge impact with him. His doctor, who'd worked with him every week for a year, at the point that the drink came out 11 days into it, said his verbal skills were roughly 50% better. His speech and his ABA therapist noticed the differences as well, and it continued to improve. I can tell you that the effects are cumulative. Give the body time to heal. And again, this is not a miracle pill. It doesn't, or miracle drink, any of that. It doesn't cure, treat, prevent, or mitigate, but by getting the body in balance so it can function the way that it's designed to, it's amazing what can happen over time. My son is in 3rd grade now at a regular school, and he is just doing fantastic. And I am just thrilled that I was introduced to this information. And like I said, you know, my kids have had their dad for 7 years now, and we own our life. So I'm crazy passionate about both the products and this business. I love that we're publicly traded. So if you're a guest taking a look at this, really trying to decide if this is a viable business option, I love that you can see what people are truly making. For example, the average Pro 3 has $5,000 of product going through their group on a monthly basis, and they're earning an extra $636 extra a month. Who do you know at the holidays right now that could benefit from an extra $600 a month? You know, what weight would that lift off their shoulders, perhaps? The average Pro 5, $2,900 extra per month. And again, this is based on work that they've done in the past. Now, this is work. People say, well, did you guys work hard? Absolutely. We were used to working hard in our previous lives, in our full-time jobs before. So we worked very, very hard getting this business, right? It's a business off the ground, sharing this with people, teaching, training, educating. And that's what's led it to grow into so much more. When you hit the rank of Pro 7, I love what the company does. They reserve 4% of gross global sales, and they have a revenue sharing. So instead of profit sharing, right, they take 4% of the total sales, and the Pro 7s through 10s divide up 1% of that. The 8s, 9s, and 10s get another percent, and so forth. So if you're sitting here thinking, well, I wish I'd heard about this 9 years ago and you ladies did, what's incredible about this bonus is it's the great equalizer. The minute you hit the rank of Pro 7, you benefit in the work that's been done since day one with this company. I mean, think about it. If you could go back in time and get a fraction of a penny for every iPhone out there, how phenomenal would that be? That's what this bonus allows you to do. And think about, a lot of people say, Kerry, if this is so great, why have I not heard about it? Well, how many of you had an iPhone 1, 2, or 3, right? Most people heard about it iPhone 4 or later. I truly believe we've got our hands on a baby Apple, but it's in the wellness industry, and I'm passionate about this. So everybody says, well, who did you share this with? Because I can tell you, as a Bath & Body Works store manager, not having a medical background whatsoever, and Maria's a human resource manager, we weren't medical at all, but we shared this with everybody. I shared this with my family. I shared this with my old boss. She's a Pro 7 with this company. I've done hot yoga for 11 years, and I've sent them so many people. My yoga instructor is a Pro 8 with this company. Maria and I are each Pro 9s with the company. The average Pro 9 is earning over $48,000 a month. It has been truly life-changing. And again, I love the fact that 90% are customers. They just want to take this product on a regular basis. And that is phenomenal. Again, fall in love with these products. But then think about the idea, how if something were to happen, how long, and you couldn't work, how long would your job continue to pay me or pay you? How long would your business continue to run without you? So if most people can't go very long if they can't work. So doesn't it make sense to build a business that can pay you again and again and again for the work that you've done in the past based on a 30-day consumable groundbreaking product? That idea just absolutely captivated me as well. So in closing, I would just say thank you again for taking the time to look at this information. Get with the person that invited you. Get your questions answered. I love the fact that there was a proven plan, that there was a step-by-step system in how to build this business. What I found with network marketing is it is servant leadership, and you inherit a team of people and go to work together, and everyone has different skills that they bring to the table, and there's synergy amongst the team as well. So get your questions answered. If anything on the business end is resonating with you, you know what? Take a leap of faith and commit to working this business and just sharing this. Share from your heart, right? And if you're excited about these products, get on these products immediately. Get loved ones that you care about on these as well. Take them consistently. And thank you guys so much for jumping on this tonight. We just appreciate your time and have a great one. Thank you, Maria. Good night, everybody.